How are you guys doing? This one's why Rolex watch videos always get views. Rolex watch videos always get good views. There are some reasons why, in my opinion. Rolex is a luxury investment watch that is not uncommon out in public as less expensive brands. But that really depends on what part of town you're hanging out in. I'm sure in big cities where it's a richer section, it'd be more common to see a Rolex watch. And there's a Rolex shortage of new watches at Rolex authorized dealers. And the shortage of watches would add a mystique to the watches. And I think that would make people want to watch because there's a shortage of them. And if these watches were available everywhere, the people that want them really wouldn't want them, because then they'd have to really fork out the money for them, and they'd really have to commit to them, wouldn't they? So consumers have to watch Rolex videos to get their full fill of Rolex. So you just can't go into a store with the authorized dealer, of course, and try on these Rolex or looking at them, and so you'd have to really get yourself to the videos to get your fill of Rolex. And articles too, and internet articles and media publications, etc. Watch fans that don't have a Rolex and are waiting or saving for a Rolex have to live their life through the Rolex videos. And I believe that's why a lot of Rolex videos do well, is because people are living their Rolex want or Rolex life through the Rolex videos. And you notice many Rolex videos are showing their Rolex watch with the lifestyle. They got their Rolex and they're showing their Rolex going to various lifestyle like locations, right? Like, oh, wearing the Rolex and going down the hill skiing, wearing the Rolex on the beach, or sitting by the fire with their Rolex, analyzing their own Rolex's lifestyle thing. And people watch the video and living their Rolex want or Rolex life through them. And Rolex is the trendy watch of the current time. And all the reasons blend right in together, and Rolex is the trendy watch. It's a watch that if some celebrity wears its watch, Rolex watch, you see them right in the media. They get boosted right up in the media. Like, I don't really see if a celebrity would wear an Omega watch, they're going to get boosted right up in the media. Compared to Rolex, let's just say. Rolex watches have an unofficial fan club of fans that love to involve themselves with anything to do with Rolex. And you can notice comment sections about Rolex. It's often the same people, the same usernames right in there talking the Rolex talk. And some of them will go in there and always mention what Rolex they have or what Rolex they want to have or how the price have changed or something. Always something, right? So just dive right into it. Rolex watches are easily identified, and most of obviously, like, you can identify a Rolex watch because you've seen them in the advertising in the media, movies, and they're very easy to identify. And they're really not that complex of a looking watch. They're easy enough that you can identify it. They have like just the design of them are just so easy to identify. Rolex watches are well known through marketing, movies, all sorts of media, by internet correspondence, through social media. there's lots of drama and action surrounding Rolex watches. And, like, always something around Rolex watches. Like, how about the whole topic about thefts of Rolex watches? Media coverage, of course, like I mentioned. And the Rolex used prices. The Rolex used prices are higher than the MSRP of a brand new Rolex at an authorized dealer. So that adds a lot of people getting interested in this sort of thing and talking about it. And you take a second-hand item that's costing more at an MSRP than a brand new item, well, that attracts people because that's something out of the ordinary you don't often see. So that gets people interested in Rolex, of course. And the thing about Rolex is they're identifiable, but to a person that's really into Rolex, they can see differences between the models that the person that's not into Rolex wouldn't overly notice. So to a person that's not overly into Rolex, they might think the watches all look the same, like the Submariners all look the same and so forth, right? And the Explorers and everything. But the people that are into Rolex, which sometimes the term used is fanboys, which I think is just a term, I guess. But anyway, let's just say fanboys of Rolex, they can look at two different Submariners and they can point out all kinds of differences between the two, and the person that's not into Rolex, they would look pretty much the same to them. But the guys into Rolex, they would know like the difference of the luminescence or something, the difference of the movement, just these little tiny details that they know the difference of. But that gets people interested in Rolex because just to learn these little details is very interesting to the collectors and the fans of Rolex. And I think that's what draws these guys into watching the videos too, because they know the difference. Like if somebody showed a couple different Rolexes, they would know watches. They'd know the difference. So that's some of the opinions and reasons why Rolex watches always get good views. So thank you for your time, you guys, and tell me what you think.